Call the 26th of March, 2024 Durant Tourism Economic Development Authority meeting to order. Jim, would you lead us in invocation?
Sure. Everybody stand. Heavenly Father, we thank you for today, that we all made it today. We ask you to give us wisdom and knowledge and to work together and let us do what's right on this agenda and do well. Heavenly Father, we give you the praise in Jesus' name, amen. We'll start with, okay, over here. Say, I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Debbie, call the roll.
Trustee Anthony here. Trustee Patel. Jim. Trustee Patel. Just tell him
Let's
to
say
say.
yes.
Yes.
Here.
Trustee Reed.
Yes.
Vice Chairman DeWalt.
Yes.
Chairman Shear.
Here. Okay, our new board member, Mr. Andy Patel, has been sworn in. We welcome you. Next item 2, minutes of the last meeting, February 27th. Any
Move to approve.
Second it.
call the roll?
Trustee Anthony, yes. Trustee Patel.
Say yes.
Yes.
I wasn't here, so abstain. Trustee Reed.
Yes.
Trustee, Thorpe. I'm so sorry.
You missed me last time.
And that was a yes. Vice Chairman DeWalt.
Yes.
Chairman Shear.
Yes.
And my apologies.
There. All right. Debbie, do you have the financial report?
Yes. As you can see, our current balance is $632,254.22 on page 6.
Do you have an extra pen?
I don't, but I can.
No.
There's one back, yeah.
There's a bunch of them over here.
And this is for the month of February, not March, since March is not over. And as you can see, if you look on page 7, our income for February was $29,641.54. That's a little bit lower, but not surprising since it was a shorter month than average. Just a little bit less than $3,000 difference, so not big.
We're almost going back to 21 on the money come in. See that on 21 is 29, and here it is in 24, and it's 29 again. So everybody's a little bit slower on the hotels now, right?
Well, that doesn't account for the increase that you saw in October, also in November, which would have been the months prior to that. So, no, they're really where they are inclining, not
Yeah.
declining.
In 2023, it was 34.6, and now it's 29.6.
I know, but I
Yeah,
said
that was a
if you-
unusual February.
I said if you'll look up though, the overall average
Sure.
is still up.
On to the fourth item.
On the scavenger hunt, did that go well?
I'm sorry, what scavenger hunt, if you're asking me?
It's a.
That was in June.
The reimbursement for Oklahoma travel scavenger hunt. It's on page.
What was the date on that, Jim?
Okay, next one to be, I think it's what, it's on page 6.
No, the date.
Okay.
My page 6 is a copy of the bank statement.
Yeah, it's gonna be 10/18 or 10/17.
Okay. 10/17
I
in October?
don't know. What was the page, Jim? I'm sorry.
It was just the reimbursement for the Oklahoma travel scavenger hunt.
Do you have a page number, though? That's what I'm asking.
Yes, that's what it said, what goes on 6, so.
It's about mid-page on page number 6. Back in October, we did the peanut scavenger hunt with Travel OK, and they asked us to prep a package for the winner. So what they did was they hid a cup somewhere in Durant, which happened to be like behind the peanut kind of, and then it was like an all-day thing for somebody to go find the cup, and if they won the cup, then they won like t-shirts from us, a 1 or 2 night stay, $200 credit, and some other goodies like our foam peanuts and things like that, and it went really well.
I believe someone from Colgate was the winner.
Ada?
Ada.
Okay, you ready to move on to number 4, agenda item?
Number 4, the Texas Cornhole League grant for $10,000. We need to approve a budget increase.
I make a motion that we do that. We increase the grants by $10,000 to pay that.
And I'll second. This was already discussed in the last meeting, so yes, I'll second that. Trustee Anthony, yes. I guess
Yes.
Trustee Patel will have to abstain since he wasn't here, or can he vote on this?
He should abstain.
Yeah, he should have.
Okay. Trustee Reed,
Yes.
Trustee Thorpe,
Yes.
or Vice Chairman DeWalt.
Yes.
Chairman Shear.
Yes. Okay, that passes. Item number 5, approve $25,000 budget increase for the Durant Sports Festival and special projects.
And again, we already approved it, so I'll make a motion to approve the budget increase for the Durant Sports Festival and special projects.
I'll second.
All right. We'll call,
So
Trustee,
that's the 5 weekends on
yes, in
June.
June, yes, that's the one we
So
will.
$5,000 piece, okay.
Trustee Anthony, yes. Trustee Patel is staying. Trustee Reed,
Yes.
Trustee Thorpe,
Yes.
Vice Chairman DeWalt.
Yes.
Chairman Shear.
yes. Okay. Brings us number 6. Discuss and possibly approve a management contract with the Durant Area Chamber of Commerce.
The last time we said give it 90 days.
Well, actually, there's a letter out in your packet here from our attorney
Yes.
Okay.
on page 5.
Have you had a chance to read it, Jim?
You what?
Have you had a chance to read it?
No. Have you read it?
Yes, I know about it, but I haven't read word by word, but. Well, first, when we decided that it wasn't a vote, because it was even, it really was a yes to pass it, so that's that. And
So really what we had 3 yeses and then we had 3 abstains, right?
yes,
Which, and there was no votes.
right, so that's basically a yes.
Trustee Thorpe, will you use your microphone?
Please.
You what?
Mike.
Microphones, please.
Would you pull the microphone in front of you, Jim?
We need to be able to hear all this.
There you go.
Is it cut on? Is it on?
Yeah, it's on.
Okay.
Can you speak into it, please, so we can hear it on the recording?
I think what it goes to is we didn't have a quorum voting in the affirmative. We had a minority voting in the affirmative, and we had 3 abstain votes, and legal counsel says that,
So
therefore, that
basically-
motion fails
Yeah.
to extend the contract for 90 days. So, based on the attorney's opinion, which we have in here, currently, we're working without a contract. And I would like
Since
to,
there's not a no vote, of course, the only no vote could happen is from her. When you got the management company, she has to abstain. When you got your daughter working here, you have to abstain.
right,
So y'all couldn't vote on this at all.
Yeah, but apparently to her attorney, he's checked with all the policy guides and all that, and this is his opinion, that it was a yes vote, basically.
Sure.
And what do we do in the interim, again, like I've said in the past? Because what if they just throw their hands up? Who's gonna take it on?
I still would like to go ahead and table this and do what Scott
We
said.
can't, we have no contract, Jim. How do they even know they're gonna get paid for all the work that they do? What are we gonna do if we don't have a packet that Grace has put together? I mean, it's not good business. In a regular business, in a political business, it's not good business to work without a contract.
I understand that.
I mean,
Like Scott said, you can
that's
extend
just
it.
the real world. You don't do something for somebody without a signed contract.
If we had this on here, which we don't this time, we could extend the contract for 3 months until we, see what
He
the bids
said-
come in.
I mean, it was basically already passed, but anyway.
I would, if I might, Mr. Chairman, I believe it is germane to the agenda item to extend the contract. Anything beyond that is not germane to the agenda item. So I've thought about this some, and that is considering, just because I honestly do think a contract needs to be in place. The end of the fiscal year is June. So what I would suggest is take a look at extending the contract as it is right now through June, and then you guys will have some time between now and then to work that out,
You're saying extend it to June?
till the end of the fiscal year. That
That's
way, I
only
mean, we're
3
almost
months.
halfway through the year as it
And
is.
so our fiscal year starts in June.
July
So
1
that's
is-
only 3 months, which is basically the 90 days.
Right.
I just don't think it's worked good. I've dealt several times with a worker not getting paid, and it's his boss says, well, we weren't under contract anyway, not his boss, his contract, the hired contract. Well, we weren't under contract, so I don't have any right, I don't have to pay you.
And so what we can do, we can extend it to our fiscal year.
Yeah, and
Is that
then
the end of
we'll
June
try-
or July?
June 30, July 1.
June,
Yeah.
okay.
I think
So
that's
we
a,
can extend it
very-
there, and then on the next meeting, we can have it to where we can come back and have it to where we can put it out for bids, right? If we have it on the agenda.
Yes.
yeah, that would have to be on the agenda.
I think that'd be good, because if there's, it's just like, Michael said at the last meeting, if there's some people out there that want to look at it, then that would be good for them to be able to do it. It's just all it is just American way. We're not underneath a socialist government or dictatorship or whatever, and that's how we always do, is make bids, and so that's what we do on all of our things.
Yeah, but it's
So we
also
Well,
can-
that's a discussion for another day, if I might.
Yeah, right.
I would just
That's
say,
a
let's go
day.
ahead, I would like to make a motion that the contract be extended under
To
the
June
current
30.
terms to June 30.
Okay.
I second it.
Okay, motion be made and
Yes.
seconded to extend contract to the end of the fiscal year, June 30th. Would you call the roll?
Trustee Anthony, yes.
Yes.
Trustee Reed,
Abstain.
Trustee Thorpe,
Yes.
Vice Chairman Dewalt,
I'll abstain.
Chairman Shear.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Okay, and item number 7, we have a new chamber representative, Matt Hunt, to replace Scott DeWall. Scott, hate to see you go.
Oh, thank you. Matt will do well. There's a letter, if I might, Mr. Chairman, on page 13, where the Chamber President, Rob Piercy, makes that known.
Are you having to leave, or you just decided to step down?
I've decided to step down, and there are other people in the chamber that can do this position, and so that's where we're at. But the letter on page 13 is President Piercy's a formal appointment of Matt Hunt to replace me.
Matt, could we get you to step up here? Some of us don't know you, and we just have to, we'd like to have a little background on you.
All right, well, hello. Exciting opportunity. My name is Matt Hunt. I own Omnicare 365. I was co-founder of Omnicare 365 back in February of 2018. We are a call center business here in town. Before that, I moved to Durant in 2000. I got recruited by Customer Links out of college. I don't know if you remember the old call center way back when, but then it went to PRC, then Alorica purchased PRC. So I have been working in this business now. I've worked with Debbie for years whenever it was PRC, Alorica, so.
Well, thanks for telling me.
But we currently have in between 1,000 and 1,500 people, depending on the season. We have some financial projects that or seasonal projects for healthcare that we do. But so I've been here since 2000, managing a business. I think I've worked with pretty much everybody in town at one point or another, and I'm excited to be able to accept the role and do my part to help the community.
You don't have 1,000 employees in Durant?
Not right now, no. The most I've ever had in Durant was about 775, back whenever we had more people that wanted to work and could work, and
You're right.
yeah. So now it's nationwide.
So you have employees over Texas and Oklahoma?
Yeah, Texas, Oklahoma, 32 different states. We now have 250 employees in Mexico. We're opening a site in the Philippines. So we're growing, and we have some great clients, and things are going well. We actually started in 2018 with 14 people. We had our first client. We opened our first office out at REI. Thanks to they've been a great partner with ours, with 14 people, and have grown that now to where we're at today. And we do have most of our senior leadership is local. So, and that's the way that we want to keep it. I have opportunities all the time. Like, we have an opportunity right now for additional 300 seats local if I could find the people, and getting the space and things like that is a challenge sometimes. But we do what we can for the community, and hopefully we can do as much of that business here locally as that we can.
You have excellent management to go from that many 14 employees up to 1,000.
Yeah.
And you still have to, I'm sure.
We're still working. We're still working every single day. So,
If I might, Mr. Chairman, based on what he said, it'd be my honor to make a motion that we approve the Chamber's new representative, Matt Hunt. Would also add to that Matt and his team have been incredible community leaders. If you want to buy anything at an auction anymore, you got to outbid Matt Hunt.
Yeah.
He's a huge donor to a lot of very important things, and I think he brings a lot to the table. So I'd make that
We
motion.
second it. Well, you got
Thank
some
you.
accolades here.
that's we
He's
love
earned
the
them.
community, and there's a lot of things that we can do and still want to do, and so we're excited for the opportunity.
Okay, thank you.
I thank you.
Trustee Anthony, yes. Trustee Patel.
Yeah.
Trustee Reed.
Yes.
Trustee Thorpe.
Yes.
Vice Chairman DeWalt.
Absolutely, yes.
Chairman Chu.
Yes.
Is that a happy dance, Scott?
To leave or to get back on here?
I
Little
I
boy.
like having Matt on here. He's got a lot of skill.
Do we just need to change seats real quick?
I think the main thing a couple of us would like to know up here is that, does he need any partners, right?
We are privately owned, no investors, so it's easier that way.
Yeah.
And his wife's very bright too. That helps.
She is wonderful.
Yeah.
Looking forward to having you.
Thank you.
Number 8, advertising on KWTV News 9, Oklahoma Outdoor Special.
If you remember, about last fall, the name of the
Can I
program.
get you to speak up just a little bit?
The name of the program has slipped my mind. We worked with News 9 to do one of their commercial spots, and I'm trying
Is
to.
that Micah on?
Yes,
Yes.
I can
Is it
hear
on?
the
Okay.
echo. News 9 has approached us again with another program, and they're calling this one Oklahoma Outdoors, where they feature a 30-second commercial so many times on their different channels. This one's coming up fairly quickly. He's already held our spot if we approve this. If not, they won't have a problem finding another company to do this. It's $2,000, and you can read, they produce the 30-second commercial, and then we get to pick 75,000 banner ads, 10,000 video pre-rolls, or a 1 week of digital billboard. I have talked to him. Instead of them producing the 30-second commercial, we already have a really good outdoor 30-second commercial. So I asked for a discount if we provided our own commercial. He said he can't discount it, but he can give us 10 extra commercials if we just send him the commercial that we've already produced. So it'll still be the $2,000 to hop on this.
It'll be $2,000, and how many times will it air on television?
If you'll look on page 17.
Yes.
That's the package. But we will get additional because we produce the commercials ourselves.
So they're saying we get 4 30-second messages plus 2 additional on their Plus channel, their online channel, and then we get 10 extra because we're providing the commercial and they don't have to come down and shoot video.
I think that's
And so
pretty cheap.
we'll have those commercials, so what are we homing in on? What are we gonna be in that, what are we gonna do in that commercial? Is it gonna be the lake or?
The commercial features Lake Texoma, Lake Durant, the disc golf course, rodeo, some of the rodeo scenes from last year, the sports complex. So
And
any of our,
downtown?
and Southeastern sports.
And downtown will be included too?
I don't think there's any downtown video in that. It's all of the outdoor sporty things to do.
It's gonna be a 30-second?
Mhm.
I think
So, did we do this last year?
We did another special with them, and that's why they came back for us this year, to ask if we
Do we know
wanted
the
to.
impact, what it had last year?
The impact, I'm sure, was on our report, and I don't have it in front of me, no. But there again, we don't have their stats from it, Jim. All we have are the number of hits that we are currently getting, or got during that time on our website and through Facebook.
So the
through our
one-
social media outlet.
What we did with them last year was their fall getaway promotion. And we promoted the fall concert series. And we did have people coming to the fall concert series saying that they saw it in Oklahoma City.
Now, this is on Channel 9, this is out of Oklahoma City.
Yes.
Did we try anything in Tulsa at all?
We did
They,
last year.
yeah, we tried, and with their salespeople, it didn't work out right because they were trying to do it on their Oklahoma City station and their Tulsa station, and we haven't been approached by them again. But we did do it in Lubbock as well as the same time for fall concert.
So, Channel 9 is twice as good as anything you got out of Tulsa? We didn't get as much out of Tulsa, or could we tell?
We didn't promote with Tulsa.
We didn't promote with Tulsa because they are owned by the same company, and they could not cross with their sales agency. So we didn't have the opportunity. Because had we been advertising, we would have gone with either Oklahoma City or the Tulsa market, and we selected Oklahoma City.
But you did have people, when they was coming to the concerts, they told some of y'all that the reason they
Specifically,
came
yes.
is for that?
Yeah.
Well, and we have a complete report on the data for you just a little later in the agenda. So that you will see.
I think it's as cheap advertising as we're gonna get in Oklahoma City for anything.
For the price, yes.
Yeah.
Is this just one program spot?
Yes, yeah.
Okay.
We've actually,
That's serious.
we've actually I think Brandy is here with LTA, but we've actually talked to her about maybe splitting cost with us, putting the LTA logo on that, and doing it as a joint venture.
That's the next agenda item as
Okay,
well,
sorry.
is with LTA.
I'm jumping ahead. I am so sorry.
So we just need to know if this is something you guys are interested in doing again. I think it was beneficial. So we will need a vote, so I can tell him if we would like to be on this program or
I'll
not.
make a motion to approve the advertising for KWTV News 9 Oklahoma Outdoor Special.
I'll second.
Trustee Anthony, yes. Trustee Patel?
Yeah.
Trustee Reed?
Yes.
Trustee Thorpe?
Yes.
Vice Chairman DeWalt?
Yes.
Chairman Shear?
Yes.
Mr. Chairman, this isn't a line item, but there's one thing I'd just like to bring up. Because of the situation with the Oklahoma Tourism Department and the contract that we originally had with them, we have not expended those funds. I would really like for us to be able to kind of research the market and start doing more advertising in the Dallas area, if it's affordable, and the Oklahoma City and Tulsa area, to see what we can do. Just a comment. We can't vote on it, but just a thought.
It's a good thought, because if we're looking at Dallas, if we can get something, we can pull from there. They're only 90-something miles away.
Well, it hasn't been feasible financially, but because we're not buying into the entire package
Sure.
from Oklahoma Tourism, then I think that it will be. That we
You got
will.
about 5 or 6 television stations down there, and I'm sure they were competitive, so maybe one of them would get for a good price.
Okay. Brings us to item 9. The possible partnership with the Lake Texoma Association for the KWTV News 9 Oklahoma Outdoors.
So what I'd like to know on this is, one, if we're interested in partnering with Lake Texoma Association. We don't have a set number on what her board has approved for her to spend with us. But if we're interested in working with Lake Texoma Association to split the cost on these types of commercials, which is adding their logo in, they have scenes in our commercial. I just need to know if this is something we would like to do, and then I'll have to work on numbers after this with her board as well to make sure that we can make it all work.
So when will this be coming up? We're looking
What?
at the Durant Outdoor commercial. When will that be coming up?
It's on the sheet with News 9, or the whole commercial. The whole commercial should be done in probably 2 weeks.
6 weeks?
2 weeks.
Okay. Will we be able to see that this next month before
Sure,
you
I
put
can
out?
play it. I can play it like we played the restaurant commercial.
Good, because I'd love to see it before
Okay.
you put it out.
Okay, what about the agenda item we're on?
Yeah, we need to go back to the agenda item
Okay.
that we're on and
Yeah,
vote for.
we're on number 9 right now.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Or, any,
I think it's a great idea. If we want to do more advertising, what better to have a partner that can half the cost with us and us get as much, advertising, I can't even think now, with Lake Texoma, because I know Brandy is very good at what she does, and her board, and she would not pick something that I don't think we would all agree on.
You're talking about this lady back here?
Mm-hmm.
You know
Yep. Oh.
her? She's good. I've known her for quite a long time.
I just think it would make
She
sense.
does what she says.
I think it would make sense to put our money together if we're gonna try to do more advertising in more markets.
You gonna say something?
Just on this, on our partnership, I don't have to take that before my board to get approval, and if the full cost is $2,000, we're willing to split that in half. I will do 1,000 of that. That's not a problem. So if that helps you at all in your decision-making for this commercial right now, we could do 1,000. And
How long
I
have you
would
been
move
working
to
for this
approve.
then
company?
7.5 years.
How many years?
7.5.
Move to approve, Mr. Chairman.
I second.
all right. Vote.
Thank you.
Trustee Anthony, yes. Trustee
Yes.
Patel?
Mhm. Yeah.
Trustee Reed?
Yes.
Trustee Thorpe?
Yes.
Vice Chairman DeWalt?
Yes.
Chairman Shear?
Yes. All right, thank you. Number 10, Discover Durant Activity Report.
All right, good afternoon, DTEDA Board. Thank you very much for having me today. This is something we do kind of periodically. We have an annual report, marketing-wise. So I'd like to reflect back, especially of recent meetings. You've requested, more information about the marketing efforts. So if you guys will take a look at page
19.
Thank you, 19. There's one thing I want to look at across the top here. You'll notice that there's 3 columns. And Jim, I thought about you particularly with this analogy, sir. These 3 columns are kind of like a rock and roll musician, okay? If I'm there as Discover Durant by myself, I'm just a guy playing a guitar. If I happen to take that guitar and I plug it into an amp, people are going to hear me. And that's what the Chamber Festival, that's what the Chamber Facebook page and the Magnolia Facebook page are doing. These things are working and growing, and we will get into the numbers here very specifically in just a moment. But these are working together. It's very much a synergistic effort that how we are growing and why we are seeing not only more attendance, but more people coming and staying and playing in our town. So as you kind of think about this, as we go through these numbers, please keep that concept in mind. These things only work collectively because they all have their own audiences and their own followers, and this is what's great about what we have been able to do. I put Grace Rudolph right there at the forefront of this for the Discover Durant efforts because all these numbers we're going to look through have been the last 12 months of her efforts. They combined with my efforts in looking at Chamber, our collective efforts, and looking at Magnolia Festival is what is making our tourism efforts really come to fruition in very, very beautiful ways. So, with that being said, let's break into it. A couple of highlights here. Across the 2 first bullets, in all of these, you will see people reached and post engagement. Those are the 2 things we want to look at, okay? How many people saw the thing? How many people pushed and liked the thing? Okay, that's really what our ROI is, anything we do marketing. Our return on investment has to be people seen and engaging. If you will notice to the right of each of those numbers is a small percentage point. So just in case if the numbers aren't that impressive for you, as they should be, you can look right to the side and see, in particular with Discover Durant, we had a 60% increase in our online activity. We had a 31% increase in our engagement activity. That means people are choosing to come and do something here in Durant in some way, shape, or fashion. So with that being said on Facebook and the social media aspect, if there's any questions there, if not, I'd love to go into the website traffic. That's, again, another area that has seen some really, really beautiful improvement, and we've been able to derive some very cool pieces of information because of this data. First thing, the 14,000 website visitors, and Jim, this kind of alludes back to your point with the concert traffic. If you will notice in that 3rd bullet point, it says 3,500 of those website visitors came from social media. That means the remaining 11,000 and change there all came from people picking up their phones or going to their computers and saying, Discover Durant. That's a really, really phenomenal number, and I don't know, I cannot express how difficult that is to get a human being to pick up their phone in the middle of something and Google something that specific. That is a very, very good number. The next thing, and this is also alluding back to, I know Mr. Calhoun is very big about this, and I think he would be very pleased to see this aspect of it. One of the things that he was tasked with, or that, again, the board had tasked Grace with, is to make sure that people get information as soon as they get on the site. And if you look down at that second number under the website visits at 38,000, you will notice that 28,000 people hit the website, viewers, 28,000 views, 21,000 of those were on the homepage. That's about an 80% conversion rate right off the homepage, and they've now made a decision to do something in Durant. That, again, is phenomenal. I cannot express how incredible that number is. So these are and I listed a couple of the other pages that they're visiting, but that really shows a multi-years long effort at what combining these resources has really been able to do for Durant. Our concert attendance is up. Our Magnolia Festival attendance is up. All of our events that we are hosting and that Discover Durant is a part of are up. These numbers show that those collective efforts are really what is making that come to the forefront from people outside of Durant. That's what's really important about this. This imprint, this support, all of this effort is outside of this community, telling about people we want to come to this community. And referencing back to the Lieutenant Governor's meeting this morning at the Chamber, in Oklahoma, we have sales tax to support our city, and we can't just collect it from our own citizens. So that is why this is such an important bridge, and I cannot stress enough how important these numbers are to reflect those efforts. So if there are any questions about this report specifically, would love to answer some of those.
I would know, when you come next time on this report, I would like to see, of course, you'll have this next time, and then you'll have the new one. But I would like to see the difference between last year's report and this year's report on all the breakdown of this.
That is a comparable.
That's what the percentages are right there to your side, are comparisons from year to date. So that was from the entire window from March of 22 to March of 23. This is the respective increase between March of 23 to March of 24.
So really what and we understand, instead of having the numbers difference, what you did, you just put the percentage more.
Correct, yes, exactly. Numbers get confusing to people. Let's get to the real brass tacks here. How much did we increase?
On our website, I know I've asked maybe 2 or 3 years ago, and I hadn't looked at it recently. I think every one of you.
You should. It's really amazing.
You need to look on our website to see what is on it. I know probably a couple of 3 years ago, it wasn't like that, but what we did is that we made sure as soon as they hit that website, the first thing that's on it is the events.
Yeah.
Is that still on it like that?
Absolutely. Listen, right here, there's the proof in the pudding. And again, I will credit you and Mr. Calhoun were diligent about that. Get it up to the top of the page. And we got there. Like, that shows you that 21,000 homepage visits out of the 28,000 views on that homepage. They don't need to go to another page because everything they need to know is right there. So that is to your credit, sir.
I've got a daughter-in-law and a couple of sons, a couple of daughter-in-laws, and that's the first thing they do when they hit a web page. They want to see what's on it.
Yep.
They're not going down to the second, third, fourth page. They want to see what it is, and that's why. And you're doing right. What we're doing is when we have
That's
the
Miss
events,
Rudolph right there.
Yeah, and so when we have the events and it's on the first page, in the next 2 or 3 or 4 months, if somebody sees that, they're coming back to Durant.
Absolutely,
So,
without a doubt.
But if that's what we got, that's great.
Yeah, if you want anything to plan for Easter, I think there's probably, 17 items up there at least?
17 Easter events
Yeah.
in the past week.
So that effort is paying dividends.
Thank
It is
you.
paying dividends.
One of the things that I would like to point out, these two, Grace, would you come up, please? We're able to do this and march forward because these two are very diligent about the work that they do. We provide you with 4 people in the office that focus solely on tourism and economic development. Thank you, guys.
And they put in
Good job.
hours on end for this community.
Grace, you
All right.
might mention the distribution at the very end of that
Oh, yeah, he didn't
report.
hit that. At the end of that page, you can see the distribution. These all go out are magazines, rack cards of events of things to do, lodging and restaurant guides that get updated almost monthly because our restaurants are always changing. Those are all going out. I just recently took them all to the marinas around. They loved them. Local restaurants, businesses, travel centers, and also going out to travel shows. If you look at the next page, also for you, Trustee Thorpe, not in color. Debbie, do you mind showing yours in color? This is our idea for the next billboard that needs to go up after the eclipse, which is April 8th. So we'd like it to be summery, outdoorsy, stay here, play here. So.
And the one thing that I really like about that is our brand is on that flag.
Now, this is going to be where?
On
That
the
would be-
billboard.
Not here.
The large billboard that has the solar eclipse on it.
Is that the one that, just before you get to the South 9 turn off?
No,
That'd be the one on out.
yes.
Okay.
We leave the one on South 9th, if you remember, we leave that as is.
Sure.
Because basically that's a directional sign saying, come into the city.
All right, Choctaw concerts coming up. It's next, and then we had this sent to us from President Newsom at Southeastern. This is our plaque from the special project we did last fall, I think is when we approved it. So they've got our brick in the works, and this is the plaque that is on that wall at Legacy Plaza.
Where is this at?
It's on Legacy Plaza at Southeastern. It has the nice Southeastern with the water feature. We're right there.
Yes, on where the football field is.
No, on the front lawn.
Okay.
Grace, did you happen to print the other photo
No,
that he
it did
sent?
not look
That
great.
gives
It was
you
just
more-
zoomed out, yeah.
gives you more of
But
an
it is on the
idea.
front lawn at Southeastern in that Legacy Plaza.
Any status on the statue?
I
Yeah.
don't.
Uh,
Janet
it will
might.
be there soon.
So,
We're looking at the dedication.
okay.
On what now?
Statue that we have fun.
Your next informational item is just a DIA representative. Hopefully in their next meeting, they will nominate somebody to move from DIA here to replace Mike's position. That's all I have on that.
And so our DI representative that's gonna be on the board, is he coming, it's a doctor, is what it is?
No, DIA has not nominated anybody to move to our board.
Oh, they haven't nominated.
They have nominated?
No.
I thought-
Okay, nominated.
I thought that's what I understood. I guess I was mistaken.
What do you think of Dr. Simulescu?
No. But he said he wasn't interested.
Yeah.
No, they haven't made a decision, so hopefully next meeting they will.
Okay,
It's good.
thank you, Grace.
Yeah.
Do you have any old business?
I would just like everyone to remember that we have had people calling about grants, and what we are telling them is that we have expended our grants and our special project funding for the year, but that we will be, of course, reallocating funds in June through our budget for fiscal year 24-25, Danny. But at this point, we have expended it, we've extended it 2 times. So when we discussed it last month, it was not an item, but we got basically 30 days, or 90 days, excuse me, before we are through with this fiscal year.
But if we do have a special event that will bring tourism in, we can always extend it a couple more times.
That's up to the trust, whatever we do, yeah.
See if I call with anything that really got your interest.
Well, it's not my interest, it's the interest of the trust. But right now, we are sending the very same message, and that is that we're out of funding for this year in those 2 areas.
I know a lot of places that do grants like this will have like a 90-day window, so that it's just not a rolling, you can throw them in any time, which makes it a little easier to manage. Because some people have expectations even in the 9th or 10th month of the fiscal year that they can still get dollars, and they're just not there. So that may be something you want to consider in the futures.
And I think too that the grant process, people have just really begun to recognize it and what it's for.
Right.
And I think that we will probably have people that are aware of the time frame for it.
In the last month or 2, have you had anybody to ask about the grants?
Yes,
1, 2, 3?
we have had one particular one that I know of, and Grace, I'm not sure. We've had one that,
We had Comic-Con, which we did not
Yeah.
approve because we didn't have funding. Yep.
I think that might be a good idea, having a window
Yeah.
to get them submitted.
And right now, our window's 60 days, basically.
But they can submit any time throughout the year, right?
Yeah, they
Yeah.
can
No, you're
submit.
talking- you're talking
I'm talking
having-
about
you're
a
talking about
dedicated
having
time that they could
dedicated
submit.
time
Okay,
here.
I'm sorry,
Or-
Scott, I misunderstood.
So you're not
what you were
managing
saying.
those proposals
All
every
year
month
long.
for 12, yeah.
That's-
Just a suggestion.
That is a good idea. I really like that. I really like that.
Yeah.
Maybe open it up from July through September.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's something we ought to look at.
I do too. I like that. I like that.
On the new business, I would like to put it on the agenda next month about discuss and approve to let bids on management. If we can do that, we'll put that on the agenda. That way we can discuss it and go from there. Is that okay?
Just to remind anyone that sits on the trustee board, we have to know, we can't read minds. We have to know what you would like put on the agenda.
So,
Just a brief, this is kind of old news. Jim, have you moved forward at all on the contract that you and Charlie were going to discuss with the parks?
He wouldn't say anything to me.
Who?
I was just telling you this, that's why Charlie, we've talked about it, but you talked about a contract on the,
Yes.
yes, we talked about it up the phone a few times before he passed away, but we weren't able to talk to the mayor and the Parks and Recreation, so we'll have to add another person on it. Well, you was on the committee too, weren't you? Me and you and Charles. And so we need one more person to be on that committee, and then we can finish that up too. But
I think if we're going to structure any of the things like that it is necessary that we put everything out for bid. That we can't have just a general consensus of, we think this is the association that needs to do that.
And we did try to put that out to bid, but your major people that do the landscape around here would not put in the bid, if you remember.
No, we did not.
Oh, we didn't?
No.
Okay, we need to put that
We
out
did
for
not.
bids. And so we decided to go with the city, but that needs to be put out for bids. Sure does. And it needs to be kept up, because I've heard quite a few people in the last 3 or 4 years, when they come in this town, and, you know, up until we focused on that this last year, that grass was getting up that much on the exit to Highway 70. There were people in the medium that had their buggies and they were sleeping right there. And I got quite a few comments and telling me that, you know, if I was driving into town, they sure wouldn't.
Well, they
come to live
cleaned
here.
up a whole lot of that, but do I not remember right? And don't get me wrong, but I thought we couldn't put out bids. I thought it had to be the city that put out bids.
We do, that's exactly right. It's not ours.
And I think that was the whole dilemma, because we kept saying put out for bids, but we can't, the trust can't put out bids, ask for bids, it has to be the city of Durant.
The city of Durant, on that project right there, that is city of Durant property right there, so we have to go and get the city to put the bids out.
Yeah,
Now,
that's
we can supply the money, but we can't do that. That's the reason that we were going to the mayor and the Parks and Recreation to see what we could decide on, and then it would have to come before the city council to do that.
Right. But
We would be
as a
spending
trust-
the money on that. And you're right, it's the city that has to put out the bids on that particular thing. Yes.
One thing I might add, and I think I'm right on this, I'm almost finished with my term here, but I don't know that a motion that fails can be put back on the agenda for 3 months from the time that it was discussed and considered. That may be a question for legal counsel as to whether or not you could put back on the agenda the notion of putting out for bid because the motion failed. I think there has to be a 3-month lapse before it can go back on.
You really think so?
I think so, or I wouldn't have said it.
And
Um,
our attorney will be present at next month's meeting. He has already said that he could be available then.
But I think that's why it kept dying in the water, because we can't do it ourselves. And we've gotten a lot of new people, they're still
Yeah.
getting their feet wet with the city in
Yeah.
different positions, so.
Oh, actually, we got a new city manager coming, and,
Yes, I
the
think-
city's got some equipment we paid for.
Right.
And they're probably using it, so hopefully they will use it in the right spots.
That
That
is-
help us out on that.
That is the big deal on tourism. You know it for a fact on your motel and all that. What it is when people are coming in, they look at that. And it gives them a bad taste. in their
Bad
mouth when it
reputation,
comes
yes.
to the hotels.
That's not the only interest to the city,
Well, we
although
need-
it is
we need-
probably a major, it's a major one. We've got one south and
You're-
east and west.
You're exactly right.
Can I make a motion to adjourn, Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I'll second.
I second, okay.
Trustee Anthony? Yes. Trustee
Yes.
Patel?
Yes.
Trustee Reed?
Yes.
Trustee Thorpe?
Yes.
Vice Chairman DeWalt?
Yes.
Chairman Shear?
Does anybody ever vote no on adjourning?
I've seen it.
Yes.
A guy
Yeah,
does
we're-
not want
You haven't seen it yet?